Or I went to test my mic and such. So, today is the final day before Forged in the Barrens is released. I know there's been a lot of testing between various streamers, and they've got some ideas on cards if they're good, bad, whatnot. And I'm going to give you my take. I haven't been watching too much lately. I've mostly just been working. So while I have some time before the set comes out, which I'll be giving a lot of content on, I've already pre-purchased all the pack bundles and such, and I'll be bringing not just Battlegrounds content like I have in the past, but I will now also be doing all the ranked format content. We're going to start playing and building some decks and brewing and seeing what we can do. But what we are doing right now, we are going to rank every card for every class. And we are going to start with Demon Hunter. At the end of this, I'm going to give you my take on what I believe is the best class with the new cards. So, first card in Demon Hunter, we have Razor Boar. So, Razor Boar is a 2-mana 2/2. Decent body for the stats, it's pretty standard. It has a Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less from your hand. So, this is actually a very big tempo swing card. It's a very aggressive card, honestly. And I know recently and in the past, Demon Hunter has had an issue with having a lot of Death Rattle cards. There haven't really been too many to support stuff like this, but with some of the neutrals and whatnot, I'm sure that this is going to be a snap pick in most decks for Demon Hunter as long as they have some other Death Rattles. So, yeah, overall, um, I think personally I am going to rate this card a 3 out of 5 because it has its downsides, being if there's not a Death Rattle on hand, it doesn't do anything, and it just becomes a standard 2/2. So you have to have very heavy Death Rattle effects for it to be extremely viable, but we'll see. Alright, the next one. Vowel Call. It's a 3-mana spell. It does not have the new spell type, it looks like. Um, Summon two 2/2 demons with lifesteal. Okay, so a 3-mana 4/4 stat-wise is decent to begin with. It being 4/4 in lifesteal stats. That's alright. This seems like it could be, I guess, maybe a decent aggro card to an extent. I really don't know which way or not this will go. So for now, I am probably going to, based off of not knowing where Demon Hunter could go, because they're usually OTK style. I assume I'm gonna give this card about a 2.5. I really don't know. It could go either way. It could end up being a 4-star card and being really good, or just a 1-star card that's never played. All right, now next we're on to one of our new mechanic ranked spells, which they just get stronger as turns go by. Like for instance, it'll be at 1 mana, 5 mana, and 10 mana between rank 1s and 3. Okay. So, uh, rank 1, give your hero +2 attack this turn for 1 mana. Okay. And just standard that way. That's about on par with the kind of stuff you would normally get. It's playable as a rank 1 to an extent. It doesn't really have any benefits. Um, as a rank 1 alone, I'll give it like a 3, 2.5. Um, Now, the next one puts it to 3 attack. Okay, so probably a 3-star card there. And later on, if you get it all the way to rank 3, it's 1 mana +4 attack, which is really good tempo swing late if you draw it and need that extra damage to get through. Overall, I will probably rank this card. It's very tough, but a 3.5. and a half as well, because this is a lot more played, and Demon Hunter can be used in a lot of different ways. And I think it's gonna be in some sort of OTK build, most likely, at least tried towards the beginning. But as far as where it goes, I'm not 100% sure. Alright. 1 mana, 1/2 weapon, Tusk Piercer. Death Rattle. Draw a Death Rattle minion. Okay, so they're pushing the Death Rattle effects just a little bit. I mean, yeah, in the Death Rattle build, this seems okay, just because it will. It's essentially 1 mana, 2 damage, and draw a Death Rattle. It's not bad. It's really not terrible. Late game, it's kind of a tough draw, but overall, I would probably, because this helps get what you need, and if you get it turn 1, great. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, as well as the last card. Now, I definitely rate cards on a personal skill. Obviously, that's how everyone's opinions are. Okay, so I've seen this card last week, I believe. Death Speaker, Blackthorne. It's the new legendary for Demon Hunter. 7 mana, 3/6. Kind of low end stats. Nothing special there, but its Battle Cry is summon 3 Death Rattle minions that cost 5 or less from your deck. Now, this card by itself, without thinking about support or anything along the lines of that, this is a 5-star card. Now, if they'll have all the Death Rattle mechanics you need to make this viable in the current standard meta, it's unclear. But as just a general statement for this card, it is definitely a 5-star card. It's just a very, very good card. It gets 3 bodies from your. It's essentially a 7 mana 3/6 draw and summon 3. Alright, next one. We have a 4 mana 4/4, pretty standard. Outcast, draw 2 Death Rattle minions. Interesting. So, drawing cards, obviously, Demon Hunter doesn't have the biggest issue with. This is a body, and this does draw and force Death Rattle minions. What I am worried about with a card like this, personally, I don't think I would want to. I could be wrong. I don't know if I'd want to play it. I might just want to play Death Rattles over it if there's enough out there. Um, but otherwise, the place I could see this shining more, not just in a Death Rattle build, but a a deck that has very key win cons that have Death Rattle, and it could be in the Death Rattle build as well, I guess. But you drawing those at the opportune times just to have in your hand. Base body, along with the potential effect of it. I see potential in the card. And I see this going one of two ways. It's a 2-star or a 4-star card. So I think until we really see how this perform, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Alright. Sigil of Silence. 0 mana. It's a shadow spell. Alright. At the start of your next turn, silence all enemy minions. Interesting. So basically, you essentially play this out. You cast this, and I assume it would act something like a secret would, but it would probably be revealed, and it'll just set it off to the side somewhere. At the start of your next turn, silence all enemy minions. I've seen this. This seems to be okay. It can be annoying in situations. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's bad. So I'll just give it a 3-star here. Okay, on to the next card. Sigil of Flame. So it's a 2 mana fell spell. At the start of your turn, your next turn, deal 3 damage to all minions. Okay, this is a very early card to deal with aggro. This seems good. Late game, it's not as good, and people could obviously buff their stuff before this goes off. But it seems like a good enough card. Like, if there was a very, like the OTK Demon Hunter build might run something like this. I don't see this being bad. I'm personally, I think I'm gonna give this a 4. Um, that's just what I think. Let's see. I'm writing some of this down as we go. All right, 3 mana, 3/3, pretty standard. Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion that costs 4 or less from your hand. Okay, interesting. So, man, they're really pressing the Death Rattle from hand effect. So essentially, you could play a Razor Boar. The Razor Boar could die. You could play the Razor Fin, and then Razor Fin could play just another Death Rattle. I see this kind of being in the same category. I'll give it the exact same score actually as Razor Boar as a 3-star because it's all dependent on a lot of things. It seems playable. Doesn't seem bad. So yeah, and that is overall Demon Hunter. It looks like so. There's 10 cards there. We will now go to Druid. All right, 7 mana Arcane spell, Celestial Alignment. Set each player to 0 mana crystals. Set the cost of cards in all hands and decks to 1. Okay, so interesting. I just feel like this is going to be one of those cards that's like fringe tier 3 style combo deck of some sort. Someone's going to figure out some combos with it. At some point, something's going to line up and you're going to be able to do some crazy funny stuff, but it's not going to be so consistent. But then again, I could be wrong. I think I have to personally give this card. I mean, I like this type. I like a 2.5 out of 10. It doesn't seem like anything crazy. I could be completely wrong. Obviously, this is just my opinion, but I'm not gonna take too much time on this card because it's one of those fringe cards you never know about. All right, next we got a 4 mana 3/5 beast with taunt. Death Rattle gain 5 armor. I mean, 4 mana 3/5 taunt is not bad. That replaces the vanilla card. Can't remember the name of it at this point. I think it's playable given that it's a beast, so it makes it playable in more of a beast druid type build or beast synergies. Uh, and you gain 5 armor when it dies. It's very good against aggro. Hmm. I think I will give this card. I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's just very solid overall. It doesn't really have a downside at all. And I think this is going to be playable in a lot of Druid decks. So we'll see. Next, 2 mana. Thorn Growth Sentries. Summon 2 1/2 turtles with taunt. Okay, interesting. Alright, just double check something. Make sure the sound was working. My headset died for a second. Back to this though. It's a basic token generator. Turtles are probably going to be beasts. I assume it's a nature spell, which may be good synergies with some other stuff. We've seen plenty of cards like this in the past. Obviously, there are better ones to an extent. Like this one does have taunt. That's pretty cool. There are ones with light still. Maybe this does go in something though. I'm sure this will find some sort of home, but I don't think it's great. I don't think it's just non-playable. So we're gonna give it a 2.5. All right, 4 mana. Pride's Fury. Give your minions +1/+3. So it's a very defensive buff. Because interesting. There might be a deck for one of these. It's a very weird buff. Very defensive buff. So I could see this being played on the taunt deck basically, and you just make your taunts way bigger. It's it may not be unplayable, uh, but I'm gonna give it a 2-star off a base look for now. Plague Maw, the Rotting. After a friendly minion with taunt dies, summon a new copy of it without taunt. 4 mana 3/4, slightly under par there. After a friendly minion with taunt dies, summon a new copy of it without taunt. So essentially, some of your value taunt cards, basically, you can maybe get some extra value out of them. It's a little cutesy card. It dies very easily to most board wipes, and board wipes are just getting stronger. I feel like there's gonna be some good synergies with it, but as far as its capabilities, it's high. I still don't think would be a 5-star. Um, I don't even know if I can consider it a 4-star. But I do think I'm going to give it a 3.5 and just see really how it develops and the ideas that come up with it. Because after I do my pack openings and stuff tomorrow, who knows? I may get this, may try it out in something. I do love Druid, so we'll see. 2 mana, 2/3, slightly above average. The first taunt minion you play each turn costs 2 less, so it essentially makes stuff. They're really trying to push the taunt build. I don't think this is unplayable. I don't think this is great. I think this will be just good enough to where it might fit into a hard taunt build if you play it, turn one off of coining out some stuff, and then after that you just start dropping down its haunt every turn for a little bit less. I see this maybe seeing more of a playability in Wild, or something along the lines of that than Standard, but could be wrong. So we're gonna give this card a give it like a 2.5, currently based on what we see. All right, now we have Guff Rune Totem, a 3 mana 2/4. It's fair. It's got more of a butt on it than anything. After you cast a nature spell, give another friendly minion +2/+2. So, if there are enough spells changed and enough spells turn into the nature, this is a strong early play. Yeah, it dies easy and it doesn't buff itself, but it could give you just enough tempo that you need. Yeah, this just looks like a tempo, more aggressive card for Druid, and I'm very interested to see how it plays. I don't think this is bad. I don't think it's game breaking, but I think it's just kind of in the middle. And it's not a 3-star to me. I feel like I have to rate it above that. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 currently. Alright. Here's a nature spell. 2 mana, give a minion +2/+2. That's fair. It's okay. So basically that would essentially give a minion +4/+4 if you only had one other minion, with the other card out. If it has taunt, add a copy of it to your hand. Okay, so you add a copy of the taunt, I'm assuming. Seems okay. Seems potentially playable in something, but it takes a lot for it to work and work well. I'm just thinking of best case scenarios, and best case scenario I see it as a 3, so I'm probably gonna give it a 2 out of 5 right now. Alright, Living Seed. Draw a beast. Let's click on it. Draw a beast. Reduce its cost by 1. So 2 mana reduced by 1. That's not bad early game to start off anyway. If you have the right beast and whatnot. What's it rank 2? Draw a beast and reduce its cost by 2. So it's essentially free earlier. Draw a beast reduces cost by 3. So you essentially net mana there. Wow. I think this isn't bad, but overall what I can say from it, beast Druid decks in the past have not been amazing. But if you just have a few beasts in your deck, and this is early just to make them cost less, or even mid game to make them cost less, I see it being played in something. I actually like this card. I don't think it's broken. I think it's good and it gives you some good value. So what I'm going to rate it, as a personal skill, I'm going to give it a 3.5. And we will see what it does. I'm very interested in Beast Druid to see what it's like. Most likely not viable, but we could still test it out and see. Alright. 7 mana 7/6 Beast with Rush. That's already solid. Frenzy, the new effect. Transform into a 6/7 Kodos. So basically, if you rush it out, it survives damage hitting a big taunt or something, or a medium level taunt, killing the taunt. It goes to low health, maybe 1 or 2. Then immediately transforms into a 6/7. I think this card has value to it. I don't think it's bad. I really don't. I don't see many downsides with it. And I think for that alone, especially if you make it cost 1 less, 2 less, 3 less, it just gets better and better. I'm going to honestly give this card personal a 4, which I've only given one other 4 to Druid because this just has so much value to it. And I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so that's Druid overall. Now move on to Hunter. Alright, 4 mana, 3/4. So, Battlecry, discover a beast in your deck. Give all copies of it +2/+fun wherever they are. Okay. So if you have very particular beast in your deck, maybe first you get the beast to your hand. So it's Battlecry, draw a card, and buff all copies of that card. Even though it just gives you an extra copy. So it doesn't even draw it, just essentially creates a new copy. I don't think it's bad. I think it gives good stats for what it is. It's definitely hunters tend to go on more of the aggressive side, but maybe this is towards a mid-range build or a controlish build with some big beasts to finish off. I'm gonna give this card. I like this card. I'm a 3.5. It's got potential. It does. So what that potential is, we will see. Alright, 4 mana, deal 6 damage and minute excess damage, hits the enemy hero. Okay. Let's see. I think 4 mana for 6 damage to a minion, and then excess to a hero. They're just trying to get like a kill shot type thing again, but or a command, but it's not as good. I feel like in a spells build of something, maybe this is like a 3-star card. I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm not really gonna spend too much time on it. 3 mana, 3/3 beast. Alright, Battlecry, discover a beast weapon. Okay, so that gives you some choices. I do like that. That's cool. Overall, what this card does is good. Just net you a card. It's a beast. And I think it'll be played in some sort of beast build. It's good value. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It's a solid card. At the start of your turn, give all minions in your hand +1/+1. Wow. Okay, so the anthem effect to the hand is pretty good, but the fact you'd have to coin this out turn 1 and hope it doesn't die is your best case scenario. And if you do that and it doesn't die, you'll get 1 to 2 turns max of its ability, which is a lot. It will help tempo. Maybe this will go in some super aggressive build that's like all minions basically. But it really scares me that it's got 3 toughness because that's so easily killed before its effect can go off. Based off that, I'm going to have to give it a 2-star, but I actually hope this card's better than that because I like anthem effects to the hand. Those are always pretty cool. 1 mana, deal 1 damage, summon a 1/1 with rush. So it's a 1 mana 2/2 essentially. I'd call it a 1 mana 2/2 rush, which is alright. I give it a 2.5. 3 mana, Tavish. After a friendly beast attacks, summon a beast from your deck that costs 1 less. So you can combo this the right way and do certain things, which is pretty cool, either death rattles or whatever the effect is. Tavish, he seems decent. Doesn't seem crazy. Could be wrong about that. I'm gonna give him a 3 stars based off the fact, off the top of my head, I don't know what crazy combos you can do with him, and it takes so much to set up. But he might be playable in something, he might not. He's either gonna go on the shelf or just instantly be in a deck. It's just gonna go one way or another. So, Golkar Pack Runner. A 2 mana 2/3 after you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 hyena with Rush. 2 mana 2/3 solid. It's not a type, which is kind of rough. Its ability's okay. Maybe it's in some sort of spell build. I could see something like that, but we're gonna give it a 2.5 just off base look. Okay, Tame Beasts. This one we're gonna have to click on. Summon a 2/2 Beast with Rush for 2. Not great for that effect. Summon a 4/4 Beast with Rush. That's worth it at that point. Summon a 6/6 Beast with Rush. Okay, so overall, probably just give this card a 3. Um, it's not great, not terrible, but if it's playable is yet to be seen. Uh, Barak Kodobane. 5 mana 3/5, which is under par for Hunter. Battlecry draw 1, 2, and 3 cost spell. Now, what I know about Hunter, there are a lot of good 1 and 2s in Hunter, but recently with the changes and stuff, the 3 slot's pretty weak. So, best case scenario for the most part, unless you're throwing in some bad cards, you're going to be 3 mana 3/5 that's not even a creature type that draws you 2 low costing cards. It's okay, but unless you have all 3 abilities, it's not even worth trying. So I think it currently goes on the shelf and maybe it's played at a later date. 1 mana 1/3. Frenzy. Shuffle a Sunscale Raptor in your deck with a permanent +2/+1. So I'm guessing that scales, kinda. I think that's cool. I think it's a good card. 1 mana 1/3 with Frenzies. It's pretty sweet. I think this will be played. I think it'll be good too. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, just for the fact that I see there could be a lot of fun potentials there. Because honestly, if you do Sunscale Raptor, have a bunch of those in your deck with where is it? Warsong Wrangler. If you get that plus that, so then they become 5/5, 1 mana 5/5s. You'll just have a bunch of those in your deck. You'll have a 1 mana 5/5 in hand. I think that could be a really cool build, and I like that a lot. That is it for Hunter. Mage. Cards that, okay, first it's a 3 mana 4/3 elemental, so it looks like they're trying to bring back the elementals a little bit. Cards that didn't start in your deck cost 2 less, but not less than 1. Now, this card seems cool off the base. Cards costing less is always great, and you do produce a lot of cards that are outside of your starting deck. It takes some setup though, and it has 3 toughness, so it dies very easily. And that alone is probably going to stop a lot of players from playing it. Me, myself, would probably be similar. 3 mana Secret. When a friendly minion is attacked, summon a... Ooh, okay. So I believe that's one of the first instances in Mage of us getting a secret that targets friendly minions in this way. And you get a 3/6 water elemental. It's a frost spell. So essentially you play a 3 mana water elemental, which is really good tempo. I think this card's really solid. Um, I'm going to give this card a 4. I just think it's a really good secret. It's a really solid secret. After you cast a frost spell, summon a 1/1 elemental that freezes. This is cool, but I just don't see it being good enough, honestly. Probably give it a 2.5. Those freezes don't do a lot to a lot of decks. Refreshing Spring Water. Draw 2 cards for 4. Okay. Refresh 2 mana crystals for each spell drawn. Wow. Okay. So at the very least, most of the time, unless you get really unlucky, you're paying 2 mana to draw 2, which is really good. And then sometimes it's free to draw 2. Honestly, I'm gonna give this card a 5 star. I really am. It's just a very good. I mean, Mage loves this. I think every Mage deck runs this and runs both of them. Wildfire, increase your damage of your hero power by 1. Wow. Okay, 2 mana, so it permanently does it for the game. And you can get it a few times. Wow. Yeah, this card's really good. Sometimes Mage has a problem just pinging a 1 to targets or just burning down some face while you're controlling the board. Solid 4 star card in my opinion. Deal 2 damage, discover a spell. It's playable. It is because it discovers another spell, it replaces itself. Um, Simple, we'll just put it as a 3 star. We'll say Mage has had some impressive cards overall so far. Battlecry, freeze all enemy minions. Okay. 4 mana, 3/3 that freeze all enemy minions. If they are already frozen, deal 4 damage to them instead. It's a situational card, but playable. I'm going to give it a 3 star for the fact I can see this being played in something. It being amazing. That effect's probably going to happen 20% of the time, but when it does, it's going to feel really good. Freeze a random enemy minion. I'm guessing this will upgrade to 2 enemy minions. 3. Okay. It's cool. That's not bad. Now, I'm also going to give this a 3 based off the 0 mana to do this. And if you can 0 mana to freeze 2 or 3 minions randomly, I think that's crazy. Um, what else do we have? 4 mana, 3/5 battle cry. Fire your hero power at all enemies. So if you combo that with a wildfire, that could be pretty cool little combo. Could be playable. I see it as like probably like a 3 star. It just seems good overall. I don't see it being bad. It's a 3/5 body. It's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 actually. Okay, so we got this legendary 10 mana 10/10 battle cry. If you dealt 10 damage with your hero power this game, deal 10 damage to all enemies. Wow. I think that's gonna be very easily activated. Uh, it's 4 stars simply for the fact that it's situational. But when that happens, it's gonna feel really good. All right, Paladin. So we got 1 mana secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, summon a 3/4 with taunt. Now 3/4 with taunt. Interesting. I think honestly, it's okay. It's not great. It's not good to break some of the slots. So I'm gonna give it like a 2 star. Battlecry, draw a holy spell. I mean, yeah, it draws a spell, but it's still not great. I think we're gonna give that one a 2 star as well. If that, maybe 1.5. Starting summon some 2/1/1 silver recruits. I mean, it's good early tempo, token aggro. Easily dies though, and it's at the start of your turn, so give it 2.5 stars. 3 mana, additional 3/4, 2.5 stars. Like, these cards have been mediocre so far. It's about what you expect from most Paladin cards. After your hero attacks, cast a secret from your deck. Might be okay if you run enough secrets, but a secret Paladin deck's never really had much success. Um, So I'll give it a 2.5. Okay, 6 and +9. I think it's good. It's random, so it's not gonna be a 5-star card. But I think it's a solid 3.5 based on the fact that you can get upwards of 9 tempo attack, which is crazy to me. Rush Divine Shield, 4 mana, 4/3. I like that. That already seems good. It seems playable. Whenever this card attacks, reduce the cost of holy spells in your hand by 1. If there's enough holy spells, if it even gets 1 card, it's enough. I think this is a 3.5. Again, it's nothing that blows anything out of the water, but it's alright. Give +1/+1 to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. It's a holy spell. Interesting. I think this is good. If you're playing that style deck, it's an Anthem. I'm gonna also give it another 3.5. I think it's decent. It's just it's not overpowered. If it was 3 mana, it'd be a lot different. Um, it's just good overall. It does a lot of things, so it might see some play in the other formats. We'll see. 4 mana, 3/5. Because of holy spells, summon a 2/2 medic with lifesteal. It's okay. It takes a little setup, but it's okay. I think it's probably a 3-star, personally. Transform your secrets into 3/3 soldiers. They transform back when they die. But see, they could all get silenced. They can mess it all up. I feel like that's kind of a crap fest right now. So I don't see it being great. Hmm. Alright, on to Priest. Sorry. Battlecry, 4 mana, 3/4. For each spell in your hand, deal 1 damage to a random enemy minion. And it's usually so on turn 4, it'll probably be like 3-ish damage to a random enemy. I think it's okay. I don't think it's insane. Uh, Probably give it like a 2.5. Could be playable at some point. 8 mana. Give a minion +3/+5. Costs 1 less for each spell in your hand. It's alright. Um, Again, I'm going to put it in the 2 to 2.5 range because it takes a lot for it to work well. At the start of your turn, copy a spell from your opponent's deck to your hand. 1 minute. See, they're doing a lot of these type of spells, or these type of creatures where it's at the start of your turn, and they'll die usually so easy. So I think it's just a cycle. I think 1 or 2 may stand out from the others long term, but I'm gonna have to give this a 2. Devouring Plague, 3 mana, lifesteal, shadow spell. Deal 4 damage randomly split among all enemy minions. Wow, and if you buff it, all that get more. I think this is decent with some support. It could be really solid. But I'm gonna give it a 3-star until I can, see that. Serena Bloodfeather. 2 mana, 1/1. Battlecry. Choose an enemy minion. Steal attack and health from it until this has more. Mm, Seems okay. I'm gonna have to just give it like a base 3 because 3 for me is I see it being played. Not always. I see it's gonna have really good moments. I see it's gonna have really bad and wasteful moments, but it's playable. 4 mana, 4/4 Battlecry. If you've restored health this turn, deal that much damage to all enemy minions. Oh wow. Zarelia, I think this card's pretty good. Um, that much. So if it accumulates to total health you have done this turn, wow. I think Zarelia is really good actually. Now the more I look at it, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It's not perfect 5, but it is very good. It's very good board. And she taunt battle cry, 5 mana 5/5. If you've restored health this turn, gain +2/+3. So it's a 5 mana 8/8 at best with taunt, which is good. It really is. But it's gonna take a lot for its effect to happen. You're usually not gonna be able to play it on 5. Maybe turn 7. Um, I think we give it like a 2.5. There's just a lot more you can do for that. Condemn. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. You know, seems playable. Seems solid as just a 3. Um, don't see it being overpowered. Don't see it being bad. So yeah. Use it early, middle, or late. 6 mana, 6/6 taunt. Death Rattle, restore 8 damage to all friendly characters. Oh wow. It's elemental. I'm gonna give this a 3-star. I think it has some potential that could be used in some combo thing. Imagine if you restore this dies off of you attacking with it. It restores 8 health to all friendly characters. Then you play Zarelia that turn, and you deal 8 damage to all enemy minions. That's ridiculous. Restore 5 health to each hero. Yeah, Shadow Priest is a thing, but without that, this just seems bad. Alright, on to Rogue. After you play a battle cry or combo card, draw a card. That's alright. 3 mana, 3/2. Battle or combo. If it sets out, it's really good. Dies really easy though. I think it's borderline. I give it 2.5. It doesn't quite make the cut for me. Efficient Octobot. 2 mana, 1/4. Wow. Mech. Wow. Frenzy. Okay, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. Ooh. Playing that early and what you can do with it. Imagine backstabbing it or something along the lines of that and just, oh. I just don't see this card being bad. I don't see this card being anything less than a really good, honestly. Um, I'm gonna give this card a 5-star. I am. Wow, that's scary. Give your weapon after this hero attacks, draw a card. It's alright. Um, with a long-term weapon, it'd be good. I just don't see it being playable right now. Deal 2 damage for 2. Oh man, this seems like it could be. So that's like an eviscerate without the combo for 4. This spell is going to be played for sure. Or up to 6 damage. I give it a 4 stars. That's a lot of damage output for such a cheap card like that. Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Add a random poison to your hand. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's bringing some old stuff back, kinda. Uh, 4 mana, 3/2. Battle Cry, poison, poison. I think it's just solid, like 3.5. If they figure out something with it, it could be better. So you play a poison game +1 durability. So a poison deck to make this durability really high. See, that's cool and all, but that's a lot of resources to put in to a card that could be stopped by something simple. Like first thing that comes to mind is Ooge from the base. Ooge. I can't even talk. Ooze from the base set. Um, this is like a fringe card. It's gonna have really good moments, but mostly not. Probably percentage-wise for wins. So I'm gonna give it like a 2.5. Scab's Cutter Butter. 4 mana, 3/3. Okay, combo. The next 2 cards you play this turn cost 3 less. Wow. Okay, so essentially you're paying 4 mana for a 3/3 and 6 mana worth of cards. And if you like bounced it with Shadow Step and stuff, this card just seems excellent. This card seems really scary. Rogue's getting some powerful cards. Uh, yeah, I think I give it a 5-star, and I do want to point out this is the third 5-star I've given out of all the card reviews so far, and 2 of them have been in Rogue. Give your weapon +1 attack, and your hero is immune while attacking. That's not bad. Now, is it played or not? I don't know. I think it'll fringe. Put it like a 2.5 for now. 4 mana, 4/4. Deal 2 damage. If Battlecry, deal 2 damage. If it entered your hand this turn, deal 4 instead. I think that's okay, but it's okay. It's not good enough for Rogue. They just have a lot of powerful cards, so I think it's gonna be like the 2.5 range and not really be played often. Yoink. Discover a hero power and set its cost to 0. Swap it back after 2 uses. This seems just like a fun card. Yeah, it's cool. It can be good. It's a 2.5 for me. It really is. So Rogue had really good high-end cards, but kind of just average low-end cards. Spawn Pool Forager. Okay, we're just Shaman cards. 1 mana, 1/2 Murloc, Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 Murloc, I assume. Okay, so they're bringing Murlocs back a bit. I mean, probably like a little 3-star for a Murloc deck. It's not the worst thing I've seen. 4 mana, 2/6 Taunt, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Wow, this is really good against aggro. I'm gonna give that a 3.5. Not gonna spend too much time talking about it because it's just a 2/6 Taunt, semi cheap that just starts pinging. It's not bad. If you played an elemental last turn, transform an enemy. Oh, so it's a hex on a body. I like this card. I like this a lot. They're pushing like elemental again. This is a strong card. I'm willing to give it a 4. Start your turn, draw a Murloc. See, it's like the other caravans on the cycle. And it's going to be difficult. I got to give it a 2.5. 3 mana, 2/5 Battlecry. If you played an elemental last turn, gain Rush Wind Fury. So a 3 mana, 2/5 Rush Wind Fury. It's really good. 3.5 is probably where I'm setting with that. We're just getting some nice quality, not broken cards for Shaman. Battlecry, if you control another Murloc, ping 2 damage. Oh, wow. 2 mana, 3/2. And a Murloc build, that's not bad. We're going to probably give it like a standard 3 stars. Um, Firemancer Flurgle. 2 mana, 2/3 legendary. After you play a Murloc, just 1 damage to all enemies. Oh, wow. By itself, it just seems solid. Like, it's not amazing. It's not broken. It's not bad. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I'll keep it above par just a little bit. Looks good. Nothing can stop us. Give your minions +1/+1. Give your Murlocs an extra +1/+1. So in a Murloc build, this seems good. In a normal build, kind of lackluster. Best case, we're going to give it a 3-star. So I'm actually not going to rank this and just give it a 2.5. 4 mana, 5/4 nature spells, +3 damage. Okay. So once there's enough nature spells for Shaman, it'd be almost like a cheap Malygos, which is cool. Now, if there's the support for right now, I don't think there is. But I'd keep an eye on this card in the future. It doesn't seem playable just yet, but could be wrong. So it goes from 2 to 4. It just seems like a solid damage boost to stuff. Probably give it a 3-star and call it good. Warlock, alright. Third turn summon, so yeah, 2.5. We're not really gonna. 3 mana, 3/3 battle cry and death. I'll give another friendly. It's 2.5 as well. It's underwhelming. I don't spend too much time on the cards that aren't that great. 6 mana, 6/6 taunt. Costs 1 while your deck has 10 or fewer cards. This is good in a like fatigue-ish style Warlock control deck. I like this. I think it's solid. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Near Fireblade. 5 mana, 5/5 Battlecry. If your deck is empty, open a portal that fills your board with 3 gems. Wow, that can be pretty fast, pretty aggressive when. I think I give it like a 3.5 because you have to wait. It's very conditional, but it's like, it's a big game changer if you ever do. Destroy the top 3 cards of each deck. Hmm. Now, against a combo deck, this seems good. I like destroying cards, but if it's for each deck, that kind of pushes me off of it. So I think it's like a fringe card right now. This is good in a token. I actually, no, it doesn't make the 3-star mark. So see, this card's pretty cool, but it's very situational, very weak. So I think it's one of the first legendaries I put under 3. It's like a 2.5 for me. Deal 5 damage to all minions. Destroy a card in your. I don't like this destroying all my cards. Yeah, it's gonna. If you're trying to build the Niru Portal deck, that's what it looks like it's gonna be, then cool. But you could just lose doing that as well. Three mana, 3 deals 6 damage to minion. I think that's. I'm gonna give it a 3-star. It's nothing crazy, and we're already to the last one. Oh, I don't think this card's gonna be good because I know it just summons more imps. So yeah, I give it like a 2.5. Warlock's very disappointing in this set. That is a shame. We're off to our last class of warrior. 4 mana, 2/6 Battlecry and Frenzy, deal 1 to all of the minions. Yeah, no, this seems good. Seems really solid. It's gonna do a lot of damage, a lot of frenzy triggers. I think it's gonna be a key card in that style deck. So 4. 5 mana, 4/5 rush frenzy draw card. I like it. It's a So I will give it a 3.5. Don't like Polka. Rancor could be a really good control card. That one will probably give a 3-star. I'm just kind of skimming through right now the cards that aren't great. I think this is pretty sweet. I like this a lot. I'm going to give it a 4-star. Just buffing your hand seems pretty good when it can be up to +3/+3. Overlord Seraphing, 7 mana, 5/4 Battlecry, resurrect 2 friendly frenzy minions, deal 1 damage to all of the minions. So it'll trigger the frenzies, it'll resurrect them. Wow. This is a game changer for sure, and depending on the frenzies, it could be crazy. I gotta give this card a 5-star. It's really good. After a friendly minion attacks and survives, give it +1/+1. 2 mana, 2/3 rush. It's 3-star. It could be played in some stuff. I'm not 100% sure how or what. Frenzy +1, 1/3s with. Yeah, no, this can be played. That's a very aggressive card, and there's a lot going on, so 3.5. 5 mana, 2/4/4s. Okay, this isn't great. I don't think I could even get this 3-star though. Now, before we go to neutral, I'm gonna look over real quick. I think overall, going through my numbers, I think the top 3 classes, with just the new cards included, in order: Mage at number 1, Warrior at number 2, and Demon Hunter at number 3. And it's all very minimal margins. I think it could go any of the ways. Shaman was the not Shaman. Uh, Warlock was the weakest. So yeah. Now we go into the neutral cards, and then that'll be it for tonight. There are a lot of them. Let's go through the rares and above. 4 mana, 4/6, Frenzy, Destroy, Random Enemy. Yeah, this is going to be played in most of the Frenzy strategies. I think this is really good to an extent. Like, I'm going to give it a 4 stars. It's got 8 toughness, so that's very strong. Battlecry, discover a card in your opponent's deck. They draw theirs as well. Interesting. Don't know what to think about that, but that could be a good way to steal something from someone. That's cool. It's 3-star for me. Death Rattle, summon a 5/8 with taunt. That could be Ren and Demon Hunter. I could see that. That's not bad. Give that a 3-star. That's a troll card. Okay. Summon a 5/5. Look out for each watch post you summon this game. Now, the watch post deck could be cool. Could be viable in whatever strategy you go with, because it's in different. It could be in any class basically. For the potential of this card, I'm gonna give it a 4.5.